So one of the number one things I hear often in regards to the freshwater aquarium hobby is, I have hard water. What fish can I keep? Quickly followed by, get an RO unit. It changes your life. It makes it so much better. I disagree. I honestly disagree. And a few weeks ago, I made a very blunt statement in one of my live streams. And I want to get in tonight of why you do not need this to be successful in your hobby.
Reverse osmosis systems are one of the worst things for the freshwater hobby, period. I think they cause more problems for people than anything else.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Trent Wel-Don with Wel-Don Tanks. And it's right. I'm honestly saying you do not need an RO unit to be successful in your hobby. I made that comment in the live stream and I stand by it. Now, out of context, it's kind of a crazy comment. In context, it may make a little sense, so feel free to go watch the entire live stream. But we were talking about breeding plecos. Now, I'm not a professional pleco breeder. I will never claim to be one, but I will claim, and I have done it, I've bred L199 yellow zebra plecos in hard tap water, proving that it can be done. And they were wild caught. So I really want to have a discussion tonight of, we're going to be splitting some hairs here. We're not going to be talking about breeding fish. We're going to be talking about keeping fish. And we're going to be talking about why you do not need one of these monstrosities to be successful in keeping fish. So this monstrosity of a thing I have on my shoulder is called a reverse osmosis unit. For the sake of this video, we're going to make this as simple as possible. This is a big water filter. That's all it is. It's just a giant water filter that's going to pull everything out of your tap water and make it the most basic water you can have available to you. That's all this is. And I really want to say, you do not need this to be successful in your hobby. So going back to the number one thing I hear of, I have hard tap water, what fish can I keep? Anything you possibly want. Then people are going to argue, no you can't, you cannot keep those fish. You have hard tap water. You need to get a reverse osmosis unit. You need to do this, you need to do that. Throw it all away. We're going to make this simple and easy to understand. You do not need a reverse osmosis unit to be successful in the freshwater hobby. So what happens is, people have hard tap water, high pH, high TDS, high hardness, GH, KH. We start saying all these things and you're going, what is that? What are you even talking about? So let's make it simple here. pH, okay, it's high. You either have high pH, low pH. 8.2 is high, 6.0 is low, 7.2 is right in the middle. I have and had 8.0 to 8.2 pH, very high. Now let's get into, you're going to be thinking like KH and GH. Okay, hardness of the water. Now what's hardness of the water? To tell you that, think of what is dissolved in the water. TDS, total dissolved solids. Just stick with me here. pH, how much stuff, minerals, is dissolved in your water. More stuff in water, you could have higher pH. Less stuff in water, you could have lower pH. I know there's a lot more mathematical and scientific equations to it than that, but for simplicity, a lot of stuff in the water, high pH. Low stuff in the water, low pH. This pulls everything out of your water and brings your pH way down. You have to remineralize this water. This is why I think this is so dangerous for the freshwater hobby. So now that we've made some simple rules for this video, I have a visual representation I want to go through and teach you, give you my opinion of what's going to happen if you use an RO filter for fresh water and why you do not need one to be successful in keeping fish. Let me show you. To help get my opinion across, I've set up a little visual representation I want to go through with you and help you understand why you do not need an RO system to be successful in keeping fish. Now this also goes into questions of, how do I acclimate fish? What's going to happen to fish if I go from a high pH to a low pH, or soft water to hard water, and what happens if this and what happens if that? So let me show you, and let's talk about this, and hopefully this will help a lot of people understand you can be very successful without having to spend the extra money. So let's get into this. So let's say these are fish, right? We have fish. Let's say you want to keep puffer fish. Let's say you want to keep cichlids. Let's say you want to keep rams. Let's say you want to keep discus. Let's say you want to keep rainbow fish, guppies, and mollies, and all these different things. You see all these amazing fish on YouTube, and you want to keep fish, right? So we're going to have fish. So you go to your tap. So blue is our tap water. So we're going to take some blue, right? You add fish to your tap water. Cool. So you go and you get yourself a test kit, maybe like the one from Aquarium Co-op, and you do yourself a test. That test comes back and says you have 8.2 pH and the hardness of your water is off the charts. So now you go to the internet, right? You're going to go to the internet to find out what's going on. And people are going to say, you can't do that. You can't keep discus in 8.2 pH and hard water. Done it, by the way. So you panic. You go, okay, like, what do I need to do? Like, oh, there's this amazing thing called an RO filter. Let's get that. So you buy an RO filter. Yellow is going to be RO. Now you're asking, what is green? The green is going to be all the stuff that's in your tap water, okay? So this is all the mineral content in your tap water. This is everything that's making your tap water hard, bringing that pH up, all the greens in there. So you get an RO unit. You bring over some yellow. We don't have any specific ratios here. Now, again, these aren't scientific ratios, so stick with me. But we're going to say for every 1 part RO water you put in, you lose 2 mineral. So if you come back to our diagram here, every 1 part RO water, which is the yellow, we're going to lose 2 mineral. Okay? So let's say we keep doing that. Right? Because RO water, this giant filter, is just pulling stuff out of the water. Cool. So you've now done that, and you now have mixed your tap water with high pH with your RO water that has extremely low pH because it pulls all of this, all the mineral content out of your water. Now your pH sits around 7.2. Cool, right? You have 7.2. Your fish are happy, your fish are happy, your fish are happy, your fish are happy, your fish are happy. Okay, you do another water change. So you add more RO water, right? You take water out, add water in, but you add more RO water, and you're pulling out more mineral content. So now it happens. You have 7.2 pH to begin with. Now all of a sudden you're down to like 6.8. Uh-oh. What do? How do you bring that back up? The internet now says that 6.8 is getting really low. What do? Like, how do you now get it back up? Well, you read something, add more tap water. Okay, so you add more tap water, which means you're gonna add all this mineral content back into your fish. Now your pH goes from 6.8, skyrockets up to 7.8. Now your fish aren't liking it very much. Now fish start losing. You start things going haywire. Crap, now you gotta do another water change, right? You need to add more RO water. So now you're gonna add more RO water and you're gonna pull this out. You're gonna add more RO water, you're gonna pull more mineral content out. Now your pH goes from 7.7 and just crashes down to 5.0 and everything's just a complete mess. These killed your fish. Now you're having problems where you went from 8.2 pH and crashed it down to 5.0 pH. But the internet said, okay, this is my point and this is my opinion. You do not need RO water to be successful in keeping fish. You need stability. If you have a stable environment for your fish, I guarantee you are going to have way more success than if you start trying to play with water parameters. Now, I will not argue against that there are some incredible people out there breeding a lot of fish that are using RO water for that purpose. That's a very advanced technique. I want you to focus on keeping your fish healthy. Keeping fish. Keeping the fish you want to keep. I've done discus in tap water. I've done discus in 8.2 pH and the hardness was off the chart. Like literally the test kit I was using could not read the hardness. I have bred high pancistery species in hard tap water. I've kept Mabu puffers in hard tap water. I've done Fahaka puffers in hard tap water. I've done wild caught fish in hard tap water. Now this also comes into how do you acclimate fish from hard water to soft water to hard water? Let's focus on something completely different other than acclimating to these parameters. Have you ever considered focusing on keeping your nitrates down, your zero ammonia, and for sure zero nitrite, right? Focus on that, because now when you transfer fish from hard water to soft water or soft water to hard water, but you have a clean water, you have no ammonia, no nitrite, and very limited nitrate, you now give the fish an actual chance to breathe, to literally live in that water and be okay. Now, why is that? Because fish adapt. Fish are extremely adaptable, way more than we give credit for. Now, there's a lot more scientific things to all this for sure. But if you focus on keeping the fish happy, you'll have way more success than if you try and chase parameters. That's why I feel that an RO unit for the freshwater hobby is literally one of the worst things you can possibly do. I heard it all the time. I have hard water, so I bought an RO filter. Now I'm having problems. But then I also ask people of when was the last time you changed the filter cartridges in that RO system? I have to change the filters inside the filter? Yeah, you do. Now, if you don't do that, you're also giving yourself basically just tap water. So, again, hopefully my little visual representation helped you understand kind of my thought process behind this. Is I want you to focus on keeping your ammonia down. Zero ammonia, that should be non-existent. Nitrite, non-existent. Nitrate, okay, have a little bit in the tank. But focus on keeping the fish. Don't focus so much on your other water parameters. Don't stress about your pH. Don't stress about your hardness. Stress about keeping your water clean. That will give you way more success than if you try to chase numbers. Because once you start trying to chase numbers, you lose the fun out of it, in my opinion. So I truly hope this video helped. And I had a little bit of fun making this. So please, leave me a comment down below because I do like to hear your guys' opinions, experiences. Am I crazy for my opinion that I believe RO units are one of the worst things to happen to freshwater hobby and does more damage than good? I know this may be a very controversial subject, but leave me a comment of, do you believe that stability is better than chasing parameters? So I always like to hear from y'all. And remember to hit the subscribe button on your way out, because 90% of you who will watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this one. I truly do hope you learned something and had a good time here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.